Hello, welcome to Podcast with Pooja. Today, we have with us a visionary leader and cognitive scientist committed to revolutionizing the field of education through his extensive expertise in teacher training and development. His mission is to create the world's largest network of highly skilled teachers by providing them with comprehensive career mentorship, innovative pedagogy training, and access to global job opportunities. He collaborates closely with the prestigious NCTE, that is, National Council of Teacher Education, under India's Ministry of Education. His invaluable contributions played a pivotal role in designing India's groundbreaking National Professional Standards for Teachers under NEP 2020. Welcoming Rishabh Khanna, founder and CEO of Surasa, an online platform for teachers, upskilling and growth. Under Rishabh's able leadership, Team Surasa has trained an impressive 250,000 plus teachers, delivering an astounding 100 million minutes of learning. Rishabh, it's such a pleasure to have you on the podcast with me. I'm sure, like me, even my viewers are equally excited to hear your thoughts. So yes, without further ado, let's get started. So Rishabh, I have seen a lot of buzz around the International Teachers Olympiad lately, which is also an initiative of Surasa. Can you tell me more about it and its goals?
International Teachers Olympiad is basically a first step for any teacher who wishes to grow as an individual, as a professional. They can go ahead, they can experience, what skills for an international teachers feel like. And then finally, they can understand where do they stand as an individual teacher, globally, regionally, nationally, and start evolving and start transforming their life.
The International Teachers Olympiad sounds really exciting, and I'm curious to understand how you actually came up with the idea for it.
Anybody who knows about Surasa knows that we're a very premium teacher training organization, and we work directly with teachers. We don't work with schools or any organizations, and we don't sell teacher training to anybody, but we directly go to teachers. And one of our main programs that we sell is an expensive program because it prepares you for global roles. We always wanted that a lot of teachers should be able to experience the quality of work, the quality of trainings that Surasa and organizations like Surasa do. But instead of asking everybody to invest so much without knowing what they're getting into, let them have an experience of what they are, how they should be looking at their career, how they should be looking at their life. So that was the first thought that came to the team and to me. And we all sat down, we went back to the drawing board and we said, what can we really do which can impact millions and millions of teachers around the world? And they can get something so beautiful in their hands, a quantifiable skill set, a quantifiable data set for that matter, that they can use for the next 6 months to 8 months to understand how much have they grown, how much are they growing, and then come back maybe the next year to understand, okay, this is what I did last year, this is all the learning that I had, and now I'm at the same point the following year, and where do I stand now? And again, you get to know, okay, last year, nationally, regionally, globally, I was here. This year, now I'm here. So have I really grown? Have I not grown? Are my achievements in my profession in sync with my skill set that is growing or not? So that was the bigger vision. Give a growth pathway to every individual teacher in the world and let them tread that pathway themselves and become as successful as they can. That was the core idea.
So yes, as an extension to my previous question, can you tell me how the International Teachers Olympiad promotes excellence in teaching?
Absolutely. So you see, International Teachers Olympiad helps a teacher in assessing themselves in 6 domains. Now, some of those domains are, how well do we understand curriculum, pedagogy, technology? How do we understand child psychology? And not theory part of it, but how do we implement that in a real classroom? How do we understand planning our classes better? What do we understand about assessment, ways of assessment data, and so many things, right? Now, everything is divided into 6 major domains. And anybody who comes, registers and attends and attempts the Olympiad does not just get a score, but gets a detailed report on those 6 domains, which are then further divided into subdomains and sub-subdomains, and we tell them where do you stand on all of those areas. Imagine if you were a teacher, you attempted Olympiad, you would get an overall report and you would know that, okay, this is where I stand today in my skill set. But then for the next 6 months, we pick up one domain each. We make it the domain of the month. We make it the theme of teachers development for the month. And we send you one detailed report on that domain, detailed report of your skill set on that domain. So now you have action items on all of those domains. Then there are free master classes, free learning resources, all of that. So what that does really is, it gives you the starting point of where were you when you attempted the Olympiad, and it shows you the pathway where you should be reaching, and then it gives you enough resources to keep experiencing without paying anything, by the way, to move ahead and experience that excellence for yourself. And what we have really got within the first year of launching that was, there were teachers who came back and they said, because I got to know what are the areas that I excel in and what are the areas that I need to be working on, just knowing that improved my classroom practice so much, because now I knew what are the areas that I need to be working on. Whether they attended the master classes or not, they just by looking at the report knew how they can improve and excel in their classroom on an everyday basis. So that's a very big win. And I'm not talking about a new teacher who does not know how to teach. I'm talking about teachers with 10 years, 15 years, 20 years of experience coming and attempting it and saying, this showed us those areas of our life which we did not know are missing. So that's how we promote excellence for anybody who comes and attempts the Olympiad.
Rishabh, from our discussion, I'm sure about one thing, that this ITO provides multiple benefits to teachers or any educators who are or are planning to participate in this. Right from an opportunity to network with educators across the globe, to improving their teaching skills, to winning prizes and awards, and many more. So, tell me some key benefits educators can avail of by participating in this Olympiad.
So, when we were designing and deciding on what all should be added, one of the key things was, how do we celebrate teachers? Teachers deserve all the respect, all the recognition, every reward possible. So how do we celebrate teachers on an everyday basis? And it should not be just, 5th of September, 5th of October, International Teachers Day and Indian Teachers Day. One day when everybody's coming and wishing the teachers. No, it should not be about that. It should be about a teacher is great every single day of the year. How do we create that? Said, okay, let's first identify how do we imbibe the sense of accomplishment in teachers. So we created that okay, there should be rewards for the top performers. So we created some big cash rewards, best in the industry. We don't know of anybody else who does those large cash rewards for top teachers after attempting an Olympiad. So first of all, we created that. We said, okay, that's for top 3. What about top 10? And then we created cash rewards for top 10. Said, what about top 100? And then we created cash rewards for top 100. Now, what that does is it creates an aspirational value for somebody to not just receive that certificate that you're top 100, but also, I have achieved this, I have received this, right? Aspirational value. Then we said, okay, top 100, top 10, top 3, all done very well. What else can we do? Said, okay, every teacher who even thinks of attempting should not just get that report, which is in itself a very big value, but also should be able to get recognition in multiple ways. So we created international certifications around that. We created masterclass certifications around that. We created multiple reports around that. And overall, if you just put together the number of masterclass certificates, the number of participation certificates, the number of reports that you receive, I think the total number of pages would go beyond 100 pages. So we said there should be so many benefits for anybody who takes the first step. And the price of the Olympiad is so minuscule. It's not about the money. It's about making sure that somebody is committing to grow. It's the first step to commit to the growth that they want. And the moment they take the first step, at International Teachers Olympiad, at Surasa, we take the responsibility and we make sure that they experience excellence and they experience as much transformation as possible. So that's how the benefits are really segregated. Cash rewards, recognition, certifications, reports, you name it and a teacher gets it.
So yes, this brings us to the last question of the day. How was the ITO 2022 experience, and what is your advice for teachers who are participating in ITO 2023?
I'll answer that question from a different perspective, Pooja. So we had this one teacher who attempted ITO 2022, and she reached out to us after a couple of months, and she said, "I want to share something with you." I said, "Please do." She said, "I was one of the top 100 teachers, and when I got that news, I shared it with my school. The teacher was invited in the school assembly. The entire school was there, and 2,000 students standing together clapped for her for 5 minutes for what she had achieved. Then the local newspaper covered her that she is one of the topmost teachers of the country and how she has been positioned as top 100 globally. And then the school management sat with her and said, what all can we do that other teachers of our school and of our city can become as good as you?" I'm talking about one such teacher. There are thousands such teachers who received recognition, rewards, and respect because of that. Imagine the power of International Teachers Olympiad. Imagine that score that you get, that you want to share, and you go out and you share it with everyone, and people celebrate you. On the other hand, imagine if you don't get that score that you want to share. Anybody who attempts the Olympiad, their individual report, their performance report only and only goes to that teacher, not to the school, not to the government, not to the management. We are so strict about data confidentiality there. That teacher's report is that teacher's report. So you either learn that what do I need to work on, and other than just learning, you also earn rewards, respect, and recognition. And that's what International Teachers Olympiad 2022 did, not just for us, but for teachers around the world. We have had teachers who have come back and said, I took my report in my hands and I started discussing with my colleagues that, I found out this about me. And they said, we saw this in your classes. This is your strength. This is your weakness. And then the colleagues started thinking that, how do I get to know all of these things? And these teachers then help them. And because of that, even before we launched this year's Olympiad, we had more than 20,000 people, 20,000 teachers from different parts of the world registered for the waiting list of ITO 2023. That's what ITO 2022 did for Surasa as well as for teachers around the world.
Thank you, Rishabh, for your valuable time and thoughtful answers.
Bye.
And yes, to the listeners, show some love and support by sharing your feedback in the comment section below. And yes, do not forget to register for the ITO 2023 right now. So, leaving you with a glimpse of the upcoming International Teachers Olympiad 2023.
Not subject specific. They're not questions based on English, history, or geography, but they are what you actually do in the class practically.
The personalized report that was sent, the detail was amazing. I mean, this is the first time I've seen, a feedback detailed like that.
And then knowing that I was in the top 100 was again it was amazing.
I feel very, very lucky and super happy, of course.
Good feeling, to be recognized that way.